y'all. Welcome back to Knitting in Our Jeans. I'm Liz.
I'm Carolyn, no longer flying solo.
This is what happens when, you know...
Well, and then when I'm by myself, I forget to tell people who I am.
Oh, goodness. Well, if you've been around, you probably know who she is, so, I mean, that works.
So, on Ravelry you are?
On Ravelry, I'm To Liz for you, TOOLIZZFORYOU.
And I'm CPREDMOR on Ravelry, and I post as Knitting in Our Jeans on Instagram, and I posted something
You
I
did?
finished. Yes.
But yes, I've been away. May was quite busy. Every weekend we had something, so it just was a lot.
And then we were driving.
And then you were away. So glad to see you all again.
Yes.
But yeah, so I have a finished object that I've already actually gifted. So I can't show it. But I finished a hat that was actually the Stitch and Pitch hat from last year.
Yes.
And I gifted that to a friend of mine who he is a Mets fan, and it was Mets colors, and he also had just lost his winter beanie. So it worked out really well.
Common problem.
I gave it to him and he was like, "This is great," and I was like, correct response.
And you said Stitch and Pitch is this week.
Yes, Stitch and Pitch is coming up this week.
I can't go.
No.
The knee is not going to allow it. I don't know whether I've given you all a date, but I have a date for my surgery on July 14th.
Oh, okay.
So that's been set. We just don't know what time of day. They say they call a day or two in advance to say exactly what time to show up. So I think this last time when I took Richard in, we spent the night before in a hotel, New York Presbyterian Hotel. Your father is not really as excited about going in beforehand. I went, fine, you're going to be driving.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're going to rock up on the day of the surgery, and then
I will make sure to have our guest room available if you end up being kept overnight.
Well, don't believe people in the afternoon tend to be kept overnight.
Okay.
People who are done in the morning tend to go home at night. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
But yes, so that's one of the reasons why we're not going to be doing any more knit-alongs for a while, because I've got another project that I'm working on for church that I believe I mentioned last week that I'm trying to get as done as possible before the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
Our church has had a group of quilt ladies for decades.
Mm-hmm.
They were all friends of each other. They were all the same-ish age.
Mm-hmm.
And they have aged out. We didn't push them out. They said, we're kind of done.
Mm-hmm.
They're in their middle to late 90s,
Mm-hmm.
I think, most of them. Or at least some of them. So we were down visiting Ben's parents.
Mm-hmm.
And his mother has an enclave.
Yes.
A quilting enclave. And she is so inspirational. And then she said, I haven't been doing quilts because you can be over quilted, if you keep these things at home. And she said, well, I donate them. And I was like, bing, 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 bing. Yeah, I can do that. So at that point, I started looking online for quilt kits, which means that you get the fabric. I did find the instructions finally.
Oh, good.
Fabric and the instructions. And what I did, one of the problems with buying a kit is they don't allow for shrinkage.
Mm.
I however put all the fabric through the hot wash and the hot dryer, so it's all pre-shrunk, which means my squares are no longer squares. They're slightly off rectangles, but that's okay because nothing will happen to this quilt after it's put together.
Right.
If the shrinkage has been done.
Yeah.
And then every other misshapen part of this is because I can't cut straight.
That's fine.
Even with a rotary cutter. But anyway, I have it all in my lap. Let's see if I can find out how it goes together. She said just bring a piece of it. I brought the whole thing. Yeah. Okay. that looks promising. Whoops, it's on the chair. It's upside down.
Oh, well. They can get the idea.
That's right.
So over there is the center block. And it's kind of off center.
Yes, it is.
But it's going to be an 8 square by 7 square quilt.
Yes.
So approximately king size, correct?
Oh, yes, at least king size. Yes, yes, yes. So
Yeah.
I said, oh, well, I could make a quilt and we could raffle it off like we used to raffle the quilt ladies quilt off. So if you would coordinate with
I will
warden,
see what the plans,
because
if they have had any plans. Yes,
it will be done, and it will be up to them to publicize it because I'm not going to be able to.
Okay, I will figure this out.
Thank you.
Or I will help figure this out.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was going to say, what did you finish this week, though?
I'm working on it. I blocked my shawl, and of course I'm showing it to you backwards. Am I? Yes.
Yes.
So
beautiful.
It's supposed to be a half pie shawl. It's obviously more than a pie shawl, because we did so many increases, and with the lace, it expanded sideways quite well. And what I like about it is that it just drapes so nicely. So could we have done fatter sections and not increase as much? We could have, but I'm really pleased with this. And you can see I've got my multicolor at the edge. I think it blocked out really well. I'm very, very pleased. I love it.
Good.
I really do love it. I think I'm going to take it to the hospital with me.
Good.
Because it'll be fine to go over shoulders. I'll have it in a bag. Well, we'll know, as I said, I'll know the day before whether or not I have to spend the night.
Yeah.
So, but if I spend the night, that's coming with me.
Yep.
Yes.
So I've been working on a few things. I was gonna say, is that all your whips?
That's all of my finished. Well, the quilt's not finished.
Okay.
Then I have this I can talk about.
So So I've been chugging away on my Mira. I tried it on today. It fits. It looks real cute.
Good.
What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna wind up the last ball of yarn, the last skein of yarn I have, and I'm going to put this on holders, and I'm going to pick up the neck. I'm going to do the neck, and then I'm going to do the sleeves.
You're doing sleeves later.
I'm doing them in the middle. It's just because I can keep going. Like, I figured let's get
better doing the sleeves. At least in the middle, rather than...
so this was also because I was like, because it's fingering weight and it's this pattern. I was like, let's get 6 inches on the needles, because that's where your like first increase is, because it's a slight literally you increase it 6 inches at 12 inches and like every 6 inches until
lovely.
But it's a very slight increase. So. Yeah, I'm going to do then the sleeves. I think I'm going to do elbow length sleeves because then it gives me a little bit more wearability. Yeah. And then I'm just going to knit until I have no more yarn. The pattern is really fun, but it is a bit time consuming because it's a knit one below knit one. So you have to make sure you catch it right, and the wrong side, or not the wrong side rows, but the even rows are all pearls.
Okay.
So it does it's a little bit more of a
not really potato chippy.
It is potato chippy, but the potato chips are not as satisfying.
Got it.
Because it takes a little bit longer.
Got it.
But yeah, so I'm chugging away at it. And then because I needed something now that's a little bit smaller to carry around, I analyzed my Subway sock, knee-high to figure out what I had done here, because this does not match what I did on my first knee-high that I made.
No.
So I also took a look at this, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the Subway sock, and then I will finish this, and then we will have the 2 socks done. But I am trying to figure out, because I want to use this black yarn for the heel and the cuff on the other sock. Mm-hmm. I don't remember what the initial weight was. So I'm debating. Not a lot left. So I'm debating just starting the next sock and keeping this on hold. And then we can knit from the other side.
Right.
And we can then figure out
evenly distribute.
What's left.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. But so this one is a little bit, it does not have the significant calf shaping. But I think that works just as well. So I'm intrigued to see which kind of feel better wearing them.
Right.
But I'm glad that I pulled it out. I'm glad I figured it out. I am going to try to actually finish some socks this year. You know, what a concept.
What a concept.
So I've got that. I also, after consultation with a friend of mine, we decided that the Fittonia should not be frogged.
Good.
But
it's pretty.
Maybe we put it, I need to put it back on and figure out how long the sleeves are, and instead make it so that we start a fade. Using possibly this.
Okay.
Because it goes with the lavender.
Yes.
Pink, and I think that'll be a little bit more. And then if we do the fade in the sleeves, and then we can knit the body to approximately where that is on the body, hopefully, or knit till I run out of this yarn and then fade into this. I think that's going to be what we do.
I like it.
Yeah, I just, my friend is going to also look in their stash to see, because they may have something that might work a little bit better, but
I think that looks pretty good.
It was one of those things where I also wasn't really keen on using a different base. Mm-hmm. So this is the same base, and so I feel a lot better about that than, and honestly, I feel a lot better about using a light color than the navy or the red we were looking at. Mm-hmm. I don't know why, but putting it up to the sweater, it just feels better.
It looks great.
Yeah, so that's exciting, and I figured that out. And then the only other thing I've been working on is a cross stitch. So why don't you talk about your cross stitching?
So I work on the quilt 6 to 7 hours a day. Any more than that, I start making mistakes. And I've been sewing since I was 10. I mean, sewing clothes for myself since I was 10. So that's 62 years in the making. And so I know you put right sides together. I know all these things. But after 6 or 7 hours, I start putting wrong sides together. I start putting a right side and a wrong side together. Or the patterning goes weird. I've already had to take out part 1 square today because suddenly, instead of the chevrons going this way, I had one that was making an arrowhead.
Oh no!
Oh no is right. So whip that one out and you just 90-degree turn, and it was right, but I hadn't seen it. So after 6 or 7 hours, it just gets to be much. And by that time, so then we have dinner, and then Richard's ready to watch television.
Of course.
He has these rules in his head. It's like, after dinner, we watch television. It doesn't matter that he couldn't find anything to watch. And he has very specific rules about what he can watch.
Yes.
It can't be anything more serious than an after-school special. We watched a movie about the Brothers Grimm.
Oh no!
Where there was an AI thing where the horse swallowed a little kid, and he was having hysterical fits. I knew the kid would come back.
Well, yeah, it's the Brothers Grimm.
Brothers Grimm, but he
does not know. That is not father approved.
He was not good. This was not good.
No.
So
This is why we didn't take him to go see the Swept Away.
Yeah.
The
Exactly.
Avett Brothers musical on Broadway, which was about a shipwreck and where they the crew didn't survive. The crew didn't totally survive, and the crew that did survived on some of the crew that did not survive.
Yeah.
So that, and of course then he goes, there was a musical about boats and we didn't go, and I'm like, it was this one, and then he goes, oh, okay, never mind.
Right. So then he starts doing channel surfing. And let's see, what did we see? There were so many, and you see pieces. Jaws was on.
Okay.
For about 5 seconds, and then there was something else, and then it was Harry Potter of some kind. It did.
Okay.
And I will just sit. I got the new cushion for the sofa. Did I tell you?
No.
Yes, I had managed to wear out the cushion on the sofa where I normally sit and do my crafting. So I went to Fabric Mill, and while I was waiting, they shoved it full of new foam.
Good.
Very nice. The guy had surgery on his leg, so he carried it out to the car for me.
Oh, that's very kind.
Very nice. It's very sweet. And to have it done right then and there was really nice. So I've gotten that done, and now I sit there and kind of listen to the television if it's something I'm interested in.
And then you just let him channel surf if
and
it's
I just
not?
let him channel surf. But I've been working some on my winter fairy, so you can see this is starting to do the outline of her wings. So I've been working on this. But then the other thing, I bought a pattern. I don't remember the name of it. When I start knitting the sweater, we'll bring it up. But Elizabeth had been to Barcelona years ago.
Yeah, like 2015?
Easily 10 years ago. And she bought me linen. This lovely linen. It's 100% linen. It's 550 meters. There's a shit ton of linen in this.
Yeah.
So I'll be, pardon my French. It's a top that has, it's kind of like this Kohana. It's kind of like got lace at the top and then it comes down. So it was
2015.
You craft, you knit. What is that? No.
All you knit is love.
No, that's this store. But the pattern I got was from the Montreal store. Anyway, when we when I actually start the pattern, we'll be able to look it up. Anyway, they were having, I think they had a 10% off sale on it. So I picked it up just the other day, and I thought, that would be really pretty in that linen. She bought me at least 5 skeins of this. One skein I put on the ball winder, and it flew off the ball winder and got severely tangled. So I have a feeling that whole mess went in the trash, because this linen is very stiff. So I'm thinking
Espace tricot?
Yes.
Espace tricot.
Espace tricot. So I'd like to get it wet first. But I'm not sure that would be, I have to think about it. I think what I'd like, if you could tie it down, I could put it in one of those hosiery bags and put it through the wash on hand wash. But I'm not certain. Since I've had problems with it tangling before, I think I may just leave it and just knit. You think a larger size? Does linen grow?
I don't know.
Grows.
I would knit a swatch and wash that.
Good plan. So I will. And you can see that they also start coming apart, the skeins. So I will wind the two that are coming apart, and then we'll knit a swatch and see what's what. So that's my plan. And yes, I know I started another sweater that's a gray thing that your father thinks is so pretty. It's downstairs, but I'm telling you, I have this quilt on my lap, and it's heavy and it's hot. I was finishing up the more than half a pie shawl, and it was really hot. I don't need to have more wool on my lap. So I think at this point, linen would be better. So that's my plan. What have you got? It looks like I can see Honolulu.
Yeah, pretty much. So this is Pretty Little Cities, Hawaii, for the friend of mine. And these are backwards. This is this side. This is this side. But I needed
how you do it.
this. What? Oh, because I needed the bridge. I was trying to do the bridge, and so that was the best way I could put the pattern in a way that it would stay. But now I'm doing this mountain, and then I will do this mountain, and then I will come over and do the volcano, and then I will do the clouds and the rainbow. But yeah, I'm almost done. The waterfalls don't have the white in them yet, because I have so much white to do in the clouds that I figured let's just do all of the white at once.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I'm chugging away at it.
I like the whales.
Yeah, the whales are really cute. I like the monument as well. These guys are they get faces, so I'll put faces.
As you outline, yeah.
I have to backstitch those, so they get faces.
That must be the Hawaiian Village.
That is, and then that's one of them is
Royal
the Parliament
Hawaiian.
Building. One is the Parliament Building.
This is the hotel.
Yeah, this is the hotel. This I think is Parliament. This is Iolani, and then this is also a tower that's important. So, I think I think there are 9 or 12. I don't know actually. I'm not going to speak out of turn, but it's looking really good.
I believe
I'm really
it's
getting it
true
moving.
That Hawaii is the only state that has a royal palace, and it is represented here by the Iolani Palace right there.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah.
Honolulu is lovely.
Yep.
Absolutely lovely. So if you get a chance to go.
Yeah.
Really, there's a lot of historical sites to see. I enjoy visiting whenever I'm offered. Used to go quite a bit when in college with Manhattan College, because there was a couple associations that would have their conferences out there. So we were very lucky and we got to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's all I have to chat about. I'm looking around. I am surrounded by wool that needs to be knit up, and I'm not quite sure why this seems to be cascading upon me, but I need to get working on it. Obviously, I need to finish the quilt first because I promised that to church. If this goes well, then I'll do a quilt a year for the church, and we can put it under the name of the Quilting Ladies. Nobody has to know that I'm doing it by myself.
No one has to know that the ladies are just one lady.
That's right. They don't need to know. Just support the church.
You don't need to know.
Don't need to know.
No need to know.
I mean, I don't live in the same town as the church exists. So for me to get together with a group of other women to be doing this, it's a good 45 minutes up, however long the time is there, and then another 45 minutes back, unless you start hitting early rush hour, which around here is around 2 o'clock. And then it starts elongating. If and when we get to move to Port Washington, then that's an entirely different story. But with me being down here, this I think is easier for me.
Yeah.
If this goes off well, then the next question is what happened to the quilting frame?
I think it got dismantled and moved, or it got moved.
All right, it may be moved. The question is, do we still have it?
I don't think we do. I think it moved. I think it was never the church's. I think it was one of the ladies.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, like I think it may have moved to Michigan. I think it was Linda's.
Could be.
I think it was Linda's.
Very much could be. So that's another reason is I'm going to be doing quilting by the squares
instead of the whole
thing. I can't do the tiny quilting stitches with my dominant hand because of arthritis. So we'll see how this works out.
Yeah,
I may be doing a quilt a year. How much fun is that? Tons of fun. The car is fixed. I think I had it fixed by last Sunday. I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
No, it wasn't because I picked it up this week on Tuesday after. So they give me a loaner. This is good. And so I had it all weekend. And on Tuesday, I'm in Queens to pick up my sewing machines because I had them cleaned and serviced because I'm going to be doing this quilt. I've been using her machine earlier, last week. And I'm parking the car, just paying for the parking, and I get a text from the car guys saying, your car is ready, you can come pick it up anytime. We're open till 6 o'clock tonight. I went, oh, I'm here to pick up 2 mammoth sewing machines. Yes, it would be on my way home, but you turn in the loaner car, grab the 2 sewing machines, and then...
On a dodgy knee.
And I just said, no. So I got my sewing machines, I drove home, I offloaded the sewing machines, and then took the loaner car up.
Nice.
It was very nice having the loaner car.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say that driving the loaner car, I am very happy with my car.
Yes.
Because my car is a lot more comfortable.
Yes.
The loaner car was a spiffy version of what my Mercury Lynx was. And my Mercury Lynx was done up to the nines. I had gotten it through Uncle Harold.
Oh,
but
yeah.
My car is exceedingly comfortable.
Yes.
And the Mercury Lynx was not known as exceedingly comfortable. But it was nice to have the loaner. So they fixed the car. The 3 things we took it up there for are fixed.
Good.
The trunk no longer opens strangely when your father's got the key in his pocket.
That's good.
It no longer tries to bundle us into the trunk.
That is also good.
You know, where you have the kick plate underneath the car, underneath the bumper, so that it goes up or it goes down. Well, if you're moving luggage in the car, many times your foot will pass underneath that little eye, and it will try to close you into the car.
It just it hits you or does it sense you and then it opens?
No, it hits you.
It hits you. Oh,
it hits you, and then it doesn't open. It stays there. It's like, maybe if I stay here, she won't notice.
Maybe she won't notice that I just tried to bundle her into the vehicle.
Like, So we had them disable that, and then there was a problem with the seat, with mechanical something with the seat, and they fixed that. So I'm really pleased. So that went really well. Yeah. And other than that, we have no new news. Do we?
No new news. No.
When did the India Entangled tickets come out?
They went up last week.
Did they?
Yes.
So they're
May
gone.
31st. I don't know. Let's look. Let's see.
I put my name in as a volunteer. With luck.
Your staff, Ma. You did also no. You didn't put your name in with volunteers because I texted you before that email. Well, and Lisa already had texted me that week before, being like, "Your mom, just so that you know, your mom does not need to. Moms don't need to submit forms. Mom is staff." I was like, "I am aware," and she goes, "Yeah, tell your mother." Okay.
So that will be 3 months after surgery. So I should be in good shape to sit there and hand out the things that I'm supposed to hand out. Elizabeth says she's going to teach me how to drive the golf cart so that I can go and distribute the packets of information to the vendors. It would be really smart if the vendors came to see me on Thursday.
We will deal with it. So first time slot has sold out.
Okay.
So 10 to 12. There's
Which means
still,
if you want a bag, you should pre-order a bag.
Correct.
And a shirt.
Yes. So I don't know that shirts have been posted yet, but I can give you a little sneak peek. They look great. I'm very excited. But so we have general admission available for 12 to 2, 2 to 4, and 4 to 5:30.
We have another area open this year, don't we?
It's the same.
Oh, it's the same as last year.
Yeah,
okay,
it's
so
the 3 areas. Yep. But I will show you. Can't show you all, but I can show Mom.
I had so many people last year come up to me and said, "Well, I would like to buy a shirt now." I went, "I only have pre-order shirts. I don't have any extra shirts."
So I think these are the 2. We're trying to figure out who gets which one. We're thinking this one for staff.
Lovely.
Because we can also get that.
Oh, nice.
So we could get,
That's lovely.
That would be fun. So yeah, I have to check in with Lisa. But there's gonna be, I think there's gonna be multiple colors to choose from. Don't hold me to that. We're still figuring that out. We're also figuring out what colors and styles that we want to, but if you all have looked at the website or seen the Instagrams, you know that the logo for this year is on point. It is so cute. And I mean, like, most of the years they're like really cute, but like the last few years have been like really solid.
Really
and this year is like to the point where Ben was like, I kind of want one. Like, depending on what color shirts you all do or like whatever, like, let me know. That's real cute. I was like, I know.
And the bags last year had zippers.
They're gonna have zippers again.
It's a really good functional bag. Yeah. So if you're not in that 10 a.m. slot, you might want to pre-order a bag.
Yeah.
So,
but
anyway,
yeah,
I will be there, barring complications.
I will be there, no matter what.
Yes.
I mean, you'll probably be there whether you are.
I may not be
roaming around or not.
I may not be, very roaming, except for doing my own shopping.
Yeah.
Like I need more shopping. Anyway, I need to knit faster. Knit faster, not knit more. Knit faster.
Knit faster.
Knit faster.
But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I'm gonna wind up some yarn.
Okay, I'm gonna wind this on my knee.
Yeah.
It does not do well. This
linen does not do well on a ball
well
winder.
On a ball winder. It was all over the dining room and living room.
It flew.
Talk about yarn barf. It was horrendous. Yeah. And there's such tooth to this that I couldn't get it untangled. It was like
mohair?
No, it was more like I was going to say fishing wire, but not modern fishing wire. Old fishing wire. Fishing line. So anyway, I'm going to wind it on my knee. Yeah. Anyway, that's about all I know.
Yeah.
And I will keep working on my quilt.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll have the finished all the squares, the 56 squares by next weekend, and start individually quilting the squares. Elizabeth said that she will help me figure out
I'll help the
layout of the squares. But I can quilt before we figure out the final layout.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my goal, is to finish the rest of the squares this week.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And roll up my linen.
Good plan.
Okay. Anything else, my dear?
I think that's about it.
All right. Well, weaving those ends. I was weaving ends like crazy before I blocked my shawl. So weave in your ends, and we will see you soon.
Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.